This was supposed to be just a fun road trip, a break from the monotony of daily life. Lily, Jake, and I had been planning it for weeks. We were going to explore an abandoned town we'd heard about, hidden deep in the forest, far from civilization. Rumor had it that the place was frozen in time, where echoes of the past lingered in the shadows. The trip started with laughter and excitement as we drove through winding roads, the forest growing denser with each mile. The trees towered above us, blocking out the sunlight, and the air grew colder, heavier. As we ventured deeper into the woods, the GPS started to lose signal, and we were left navigating with an old, tattered map Jake had found online. Lily, always the cautious one, suggested we turn back when the road narrowed into a dirt path. But Jake, ever the thrill-seeker, convinced us to keep going. "We've come this far," he said with a grin. "What's the worst that could happen?" After what felt like hours, the path opened into a clearing. Before us stood the forgotten town, hidden from the world. The buildings were crumbling, overtaken by nature, and the silence was deafening. It was as if the town had been frozen in time, abandoned in a hurry with no sign of life. "Creepy," Lily whispered, clutching my arm. Jake was already out of the car, camera in hand, eager to document the adventure. "This is perfect," he exclaimed, snapping shots of the decaying buildings. As we explored, an unsettling feeling settled over me. The town wasn't just abandoned, it felt wrong, as if something was watching us from the shadows. I tried to shake it off, not wanting to ruin the mood, but the feeling only grew stronger. In the center of town stood an old, decrepit church. Its doors hung open, revealing a dark, empty interior. Jake, undeterred by the eerie atmosphere, suggested checking it out. "Maybe we'll find something interesting," he said with a wink. Reluctantly, Lily and I followed him inside. The air was thick with dust, and the wooden floorboards creaked under our weight. The walls were covered in faded, peeling murals depicting strange, unsettling scenes, figures with hollow eyes and twisted expressions. At the front of the church, we found an old leather-bound journal lying on the altar. It was covered in dust, as if it hadn't been touched in years. Jake picked it up, flipping through the pages, which were filled with frantic, scrawled handwriting. "Listen to this," Jake said, his voice tinged with excitement. He began reading aloud. "They came at night from the forest, whispering our names. We thought we were safe, but the shadows followed us. The town is cursed, and those who enter will never leave. They feed on our fears, our memories. We tried to escape, but the forest won't let us go. They are always watching, waiting." Jake's voice trailed off as he reached the end of the entry. The last page was stained with what looked like dried blood. Lily shivered, pulling her jacket tighter around her. "This isn't funny, Jake. We should leave." But as we turned to go, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang, plunging the church into darkness. We froze, hearts pounding, as the temperature dropped rapidly. A cold wind whipped through the building, extinguishing the last bit of daylight. "Who's there?" I called out, trying to keep the fear out of my voice. There was no response, only the sound of footsteps echoing from somewhere within the church. They were slow, deliberate, growing closer with each passing second. I reached for Lily's hand, gripping it tightly as the footsteps stopped just behind us. Jake raised his flashlight, its weak beam cutting through the darkness, but there was nothing there. The church was empty, yet we all felt it, the presence, the oppressive, suffocating sensation that we weren't alone.